Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now let's go to a boxing travesty, like we always seem to do around here, right? Well, you know, it's happening to boxing royalty. Boxing royalty. There's a few boxers out there that I consider royalty because of things they've been through or what they're what they stand for and what just how they move in the sport. And then there's just a lot of good fighters, there's a lot of great fighters, but these royalty fighters, and one of them is Demetrius Andrade. You know what I mean? A lot of people going, Demetrius Andrade this and Demetrius Andrade that, because you listen to what's being told to you by the masses and just pay attention to yourself. This man has been avoided for years, been a champion since 2013, and in the same division as Canelo. But we document that here, right? And others, he just won't be, not, people are not really in a rush to fight the guy. So right now, just the scenario that's going on now, he's going to fight Zach Parker in England, right? Now, Demetrius Andrade is 2-division champion. Now, he's going to go up for the WBO from 160 pounds because he's a middleweight champion. Couldn't get Canelo to fight him for undisputed. Right? So he's trying to follow Canelo up WBA, WBO to become his mandatory again. Like that's going to mean something when it didn't mean anything for undisputed at 160 pounds, which is a glamour division. But we're going to go up here and still chase him. And then what happens to him? He gets a 2-fight mandate. Now he's a WBO champion, 2-division WBO champion. He goes up to 168 and is supposed to fight anybody. Sorry, Zach Parker. No, not you either. Normally I'm royalty, red carpet. I go directly to Canelo and you force him to fight me. Anything less is not worthy of boxing royalty. I've been following you from everywhere. When I was your champion at 154, you didn't fight me then as the challenger, right? And then I go to 160, now undisputed. Now 168, they're going to make me fight 2 people. Just for an example, Teofimo Lopez is moving up after a loss to 135, from 135 to 140, right? He's about to get the WBO challenger or WBA, one of them, about to let him challenge for the title, right? That's what's going to happen to him, right? He ain't going through nobody. Going to pass Jack Catterall and all kind of stuff. I'm going to do a video about that. The point is, right? He going straight to a championship after loss. Teofimo Lopez got beat up by Cambosis. Gonna go to 140 pounds because he don't want none of them 135, and he's gonna get past him and fight a guy named I think Perez or something like that, right? Right? That's what's up. So that's what's gonna happen. But Andrade, a legend in the sport, has to fight Zach Parker, who, has been waiting for his mandatory spot for a minute, but royalty, scoot over, like he did for Alexander Usyk, which is also boxing royalty. He has his reasons. That's how you treat royalty, like Usyk. Get out the way, because Uzyk's coming. That's what Demetrius Andrade is. Get the hell out the way, because he's coming. This is the guy who we should be marketing. That's why it's patronizing to me for anybody to be talking about anybody else except Demetrius Andrade. Right? Because he's been a champion forever, right? And he can't get the fights forever. So there's no way on the earth that I'm supposed to be talking about anybody else, right? So anyway, the dude is about to fight Zach Parker, right? For for who knows, a little bit of money. They lost the purse bid, so he's got to go to Zach Parker's crib, right? He's got to go to Zach Parker's crib. He's going to fight for about 1/25 of what Canelo Alvarez fights for. That's what's about to happen to him. Like Canelo Alvarez is, that much better than him. Right? Nope. Boxing royalty. This is wrong. As a matter of fact, they should have been mandated Canelo to fight him right away. Right? But they won't. Andrade done fought about 12 people in a row with less than 2 losses. 2 or less losses. Right? This is the kind of dude we're talking about. So when I look at this, they market the guy from now on, and they should have the whole time. This is the guy Canelo will not fight. Right? So that's how he's supposed to be treated. WBO supposed to let him get right to the nitty gritty with Canelo and force him to fight him. But Canelo keeps going from one division to the other. Okay, it's getting hot at 168. Let me go fight Bivol. But then you would think, okay, well, I'm going to stay at 175 and fight Ramirez or Beterbiev after that. No, then I'm going to slip back to wherever he's going to meet Golovkin. Well, you know, because Golovkin wasn't going to never leave 160. But okay, maybe they're going to meet at 168. So Golovkin, why Golovkin at 168? We got hello, David Morrell. Hello, Benavidez. Hello, Andrade. I'm your mandatory by now, which I should have been right away. But they, like I told you, they're giving Andrade a 2-fight mandate. You got to fight an interim and then another interim, but we're going to give it another name than the mandatory, for the mandatory. Who the hell y'all talking to? Right? I ain't watching neither one of them damn fights. Now, Zach Parker is like, no, I'm not going to do Andrade like that. He going to get supported. Bottom line, though, is like this. Zach Parker, pretty decent fighter. He hasn't fought anyone of real note, but that's, you know, be respectful. You just because you don't know people's backstory don't mean that they're not good. That's on you. All these guys are pretty good, but I'm just saying it's not anyone that's going to spring out at the normal boxing fan that he's beat. You know, when he stepped up and fought an undefeated Darrell Williams, he got a split decision there, but he is 22-0 with 16 KOs. And like I like to say about a lot of stuff, you know, when people are down in these fighters, they're not this, not that. You know, and I'm going to mention one, Deontay Wilder, right? He's knocked out so many people in a row. And I would just say, or Golovkin knocked out so many people in a row. And we would always say, well, you know, the opposition is not that great. But I like to put other people in the same state, you know, well, you fight the same people that he fought. And would you do the same damage? You know, would you do the same damage? Golovkin, we know he was fighting, you know, light middleweights, you know, junior middleweights, you know, bringing them up to 160, beating them up a little bit, pushing them around, you know, looking cool, walking them down and all that. Can't say the same for Deontay Wilder because he was probably smaller than his. But, you know, they said it's not the best opposition. But would someone else had done the same with those? That's the point, with both of them. I'm trying to give you both so people can pay attention. You got to give him one, Deontay Wilder, oh, we hate him. Golovkin, oh, yes, you might have a point there. That's what that was. In the discussion is this. Andrade shouldn't be fighting no damn Zach Parker. And nobody else, no time, nothing. He's boxing royalty. Treat him as such. Alexander Usyk is 1-2. Terrence Crawford is 1-2. Those are royalty. Those are people where, hey, look, ain't nobody around me talking about, I'm going to beat you up. They're looking for whoever's the best in the best fights. Now, Andrade's got to do this. You know who Andrade's going to fight, probably, right? After Zach Parker, if he gets past that, then David Benavidez. I don't even want to see that yet. You know, because that's all, let me clear this up again. All these fighters who Canelo is obviously scared to get in the ring against, right? I don't want to see him fight until the media and everyone in boxing, period, forces him to fight one of them. All of this, we obvious picking around and we talking about fights. Even Bivol, it's a decent fight, but hell no. I'm sick of it. You know, hey, Kovalev was a decent fight. You know, wasn't it? If you just said, blurt it out. Yeah, Kovalev was a decent fight, but it was the fight that he took instead of fighting Demetrius Andrade for undisputed at 160 pounds, which is a middleweight division. That means damn Kovalev at that time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant, good fight. Hell yeah. You know, good fight for undisputed. But wait a minute. We have a lineal champ still there. Benavidez. How is he going to wait till Benavidez gets stripped and then fight Yildirim and all that for that time? No, matter of fact, fought Yildirim, then he fought Callum Smith for the WBA title, and they just put the WBC in there. Instead of forcing him to get the WBC, you still have to go past our lineal champ, which is David Benavidez. No, we just give it to you. People just... So, you know, can he fight for we're about to call this man undisputed. Do you want to be undisputed with an asterisk? Stop it. Make him fight Benavidez and then he's undisputed. No, we're giving it to him. Right? Same thing at 154. Andrade called him out as the champion. Andrade gets stripped, which I'm going to look up exactly why he got stripped again and make a video about it. Damn it. They stripped him because he couldn't get no fights and then gave it to Liam Smith. Then Canelo fights for the exact same belt that he just wasn't going to fight for. So, you know, that's how you become boxing royalty. Because you pay attention to the lengths of who all the people involved in boxing, his promoters, if it was Canelo's promoters, the networks that just simply won't invite Andrade on every show. Andrade's picture's supposed to be around everywhere when we're talking about boxing. The man that Canelo refuses to fight. The man that Canelo is, calling him out at 154. He's falling on the 160. And we calling Canelo #2 pound for pound. This is the guy right here that Canelo won't fight no matter what. And you just put in the horrible fighter. You want a payday, horrible fighter. You want a payday, put all that old stuff in there so people can see how he's, and show them, what was really been going on for years, and let him get on TV, on the ESPNs and the Fox Newses of the world and all that stuff. But instead of leaving his brother in obscurity, and we supposed to get on here and be talking about the people do we know? No, this is boxing royalty. And boxing royalty don't need to be fighting no Zach Parker. If he goes up to WBO, he deserves to go straight into a title fight. We talking about him like he's a prospect. Hey, you know something, man? Let him get up into the division, get acclimated a little bit, and get his stuff, get his bearings. And this man's about 34 years old, and they took his prime from him. Right? Hoping he slows down so one of these slower, flat-footed ass fighters can probably hit him now. That's what this is all about. So no, I ain't got time to be talking about them other ones, man. Boxing royalty, Zach Parker and your boy Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade about to fight, right? In a fight that shouldn't be happening. We're going to all watch it and say, who we hoping for, the Andrade versus Benavidez fight. 2 more dudes who Canelo won't fight, right? 2 more. How many we got? Mention anybody good from 175, from 160 to 175, and Canelo ain't gonna fight him. 175, who we think is the best one? Better Biv. Some think Biv's second, but there ain't too many Biv first. Think Better Biv's the best one. And Ramirez, and then Bivol. Okay, he's gonna fight Bivol. That's it. 168, we thinking David Morrell, David Benavidez. And then we can start with the other ones, maybe a kind of plan after that. But David Morrell first, David Benavidez first B. That's how good I think David Morrell is. But those are the 2. They ain't getting fought. 160 is Demetrius Andrade, period. And then Charlo too, who was his mandatory, made all this stuff start with a franchise damn belt. Right? So at the end of the day, it's really funny, man, to talk about this because it's out there. But at the end of the day, man, we're going to go and leave it here. But I just don't like the idea that, your boy Demetrius Andrade is not being treated like boxing royalty, going up here having to fight Zach Parker, which whatever. I mean, the dude is mandatory and should be, get a fight. But it shouldn't be Demetrius Andrade. They should be saying, WBO should be saying, Canelo, if you're going to hold this title, this WBO title, and not give it up, then you're going to have to fight Demetrius Andrade. Right? Those are things that are hard to say. Let me give you an example. That's the same thing that the WBC won't tell Devin Kambosos with Devin Haney. Hey, you're the WBC franchise, which I just made up 8 months ago, and he's the WBC one that's been there forever. So therefore, since I created that, you guys have to fight. Right, and then with this cleared, and then we'll throw the franchise in the bin somewhere, right? But he won't do that because there's a problem there. The problem is that damn Devin Haney could possibly win. That Canelo versus Demetrius Andrade at 106 for undisputed, somebody be undisputed middleweight champion. That could possibly be Demetrius Andrade. The impossibles are too high. We ain't gonna mess around, so basically we ain't saying nothing about it. We ain't giving it a shot. That's how blatant this is. Boxing's a funny thing, ain't it? Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.